Hey, this is just Ben on the front end, here to tell you to give the podcast a rating if you don't mind, and follow it or subscribe to it on whatever you're listening to this on. If you want to send us an email, we'll read it and maybe talk about it on the show. It's deadensigns@gmail.com, and we got a Twitter. Anyway, if you could do all that, please. That'd be really nice. Bye, enjoy the show.
Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Alright, okay.
I'm wiping all the gunk out of the corners of my mouth so it doesn't do the noise when I move my mouth when I speak into the microphone.
You got me self-conscious about it.
Yeah,
I think I'm fine.
I always get
And
that
if I'm
gunk
not
out
fine,
of
you know what? I don't really care.
I'm doing like I should be going like boss now, so I'll be going like shake it out,
Yeah.
I wish I had the confidence of boss Nass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What made you think of Boss Nass so much?
Because I've been actually, as I mentioned, I was in the undisclosed location right now, and my cousin is here, and thank God I brought my Steam
Star
Deck.
Trek head?
Nope, he told me
He loves
actually.
Boss Nass.
No, he loves Star Wars, not Star Trek.
Did I say Star Trek? I meant Star Wars. Well, you know how it is. Star this, star that.
Star this, star that. Be a little bit more original with your names.
Honestly, yeah. And Star Trek came first. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a rip-off. But yeah, so I've bought the Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, and it was it Skywalker Saga or whatever.
Sure.
Where it has all the things in there. And I saw Boss Nass was there. We did the episode 1, so it was pretty fun to play. It's a pretty fun game, the Lego games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those Boss Nass or just
in general. I'm kind of thinking. I was like, I'll just find a game to play with my cousin, little cousin, and I was like, I wanna 100% this. So I was like, I was just like, there's something triggered, lizard brain triggered in the back of my head.
I think Lego Star Wars was one of the first, at least the earliest I can remember, really, really, just not literally pissing myself laughing, but I was hurting laughing so much. Because for some reason it was really, really funny to just keep hitting C-3PO.
No.
And then he'd explode and he'd come back. He'd do it again.
You're a masochist.
Yeah, well,
not a masochist, because that would be like a psychopath.
Yeah. That's more accurate.
I was I also was I was less like that, but I had more of this kind of epiphany of these studs. When you pick up a lot of them and they be hitting pretty hard,
True,
when you hear that
and
sound,
you collect 100% of them, and it goes.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm my eyes roll into the back of my head,
Sure.
And I'm
sitting there on your Steam Deck. Yeah, not alone.
No, I had to hide it,
Sure.
I was pretending that I would. This is a game for kids, and I shouldn't be enjoying myself,
Yeah.
No,
you
it's
need
great.
to enjoy more serious things like taxes.
Yeah, like taxes.
And Sex and the City.
Yeah, and The Wire.
The Wire. Yeah.
I'm
Bad.
I'm not allowed to not like. I'm not allowed to like things like Lego Star Wars.
No, you need to enjoy The Wire.
The Wire.
The Wire and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Those need to be your two favorite things.
And cigarettes.
And smoking, yeah.
Yeah, it shows maybe there's something wrong with me, actually.
Well,
someone should be coming in here measuring my skull. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
No, if you just get into cigarettes, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right.
Yeah, but it's I've been enjoying spending a little bit of time with my My little
How
cousin.
did you get there, on a yellow submarine, perhaps?
Yeah, yeah. It's the kind that goes through. Is it one of your conspiracy theories where you're like, oh, actually planes are submarines, but they're just
Planes are
the
actually
sky.
yellow submarines. They
Yeah.
don't want you to see the weird monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
And the sea of holes.
Yeah, the sea of holes and the sea of science. Especially they don't want to see you. The sea of science. Yeah.
Sea of Science fucked me. I did have to look away from that one because the flashing red and green cube, I was like, a bit much, kind of hurt my eyes.
All right.
But we both, Beatlemania, we both watched Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
Probably better to get out of the way now because it's like, it was a good movie. There's not much to talk about.
Yeah, and welcome everybody. This is Dead Ensigns, the #1 Yellow Submarine podcast, maybe, I guess, or Lego Star Wars guides, IGN guide.
Welcome to the Games by Lego Star Wars 2 guide.
Yeah. It's all ASCII. Now we're gonna translate all of the text into audio, basically, and we're gonna just let it play, and it's all gonna be like, modulated. So it's all gonna be like,
it's gonna be ASCII art of of both of our faces, like talking, saying the words that we're saying, and you need to take all of the ASCII art and then read the lips. And that's how you'll know how to listen to this. That's how you'll listen to the podcast.
How to find all the computers in level 4 of my Phantom Menace,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And how to become a true Jedi.
They're not the same levels, though, are they? Isn't it like a new game of all of those movies?
Yeah, they kind of like redo. They still do the levels, like you still go through the movies, but they redo the levels. Like there's like flight levels
it's not
where you
the
fly.
Old levels, yeah.
Yeah, you have like free roamy bits that are like hubs that you can free roam in and just collect, collectibles and do puzzles and stuff, and just kill each other, kill R2D2 over and over again, and he makes the funny noise. Yeah, you could do that in that hub, you could do, and I bought the best edition that there was. I was like such a consumer.
Oh, you needed all the DLs. You needed all the different Legos.
Yeah, but I get good cousin points because the Mandalorian was there, and my cousin loved it. He was just using the Mandalorian.
Oh, yo, it's Oscar Isaac. It's Pedro Pascal.
Oscar Isaac.
Yo, it's Pedro Pascal.
That's why Pedro Pascal wanted to take that helmet off.
I get their names mixed up. Give me a break.
He was so pissed. He wanted to make sure that he would take that helmet off at least once throughout the first season because of this, And Grogu, he gets a little Grogu that floats around, but he doesn't do anything, so it's kind of pointless. But, It's a game. It's a game. It's a fun game. Good to play with your younger relatives. 10 out of 10.
They should make a Lego Yellow Submarine.
You can play as all the different Beatles, and they have different abilities, right? They play different instruments and stuff. But Yellow Submarine I liked it. I watched it.
It was a good movie, man.
Not yesterday. It was technically today at like 1 a.m.
I watched it yesterday.
Yeah,
but within the last 24 hours.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just thought it was a bad movie.
I
was under the impression that it wasn't good, but then I watched it. I was like, oh wait, no, this was a good movie. And then I looked up, and it's like, yeah, everybody loves this movie, and I'm like, why did I think that people didn't like it? Where did that come from?
Because I was
a sick movie, dude.
When I read your message of you saying, "Oh, it was pretty good," I just like the entire Beatles journey. The Beatles journey was the meme of the guy from Hank from Breaking Bad, the sad the sad face, where he does the and then you watch Yellow Submarine
and then Norris happy. It was 100% like that.
Yeah,
because after watching yesterday and those last couple albums, I was like, "Fuck these dudes! I hate the Beatles now."
Yeah.
And then I watched Yellow Submarine. I was like, that kind of fucking hits though.
Yeah, it's the animation style and everything, and just like
animation was great. The artwork was cool.
Yeah,
the choice of songs paired with the imagery was all nice.
Yeah,
the story was weird and cool.
Yeah, exactly. It was not trying to be. It wasn't trying to be anything like grandiose and try to make too much sense at the same time. It was just very like funny, cartoonish, very just a stupid little story to go with the very cool visuals that this movie has, And
that's crazy, man. The blue meanies.
The blue meanies are
the blue meanies. The glove.
They go the
guys
hard.
with the hands in their feet or something.
Yeah, they have guns in their feet for some reason. Yeah.
Well, they just have their hands. They use guns, but then at the end they're like shaking hands. With their hand feet.
They have
there were the Turks with the bellies that eat people.
The bellies that eat people. There were the clowns, but you would just press their noses and explosions
It was just
would
the
happen.
one. It was just the one.
Yeah, it was the
that
one.
was like a signal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like the alert guy. Yeah, and yeah, there was the dogs. There were like weird dogs that they kind of looked like blue mini. Yeah, and they looked really.
They were like conjoined.
Creepy. Yeah. The conjoined, and they had the different lands. I want to live in the weird Beatles land or whatever. It is kind of, yeah. I don't know. I really just it's so weird how like it just happened. He just happened to stumble upon Ringo. Do you think that happens when
he
you go to
was sitting
Liverpool?
around talking about how he's having a lonely Thursday morning, nobody around to have sex with.
Yeah, nothing ever happens to me.
Nothing ever happens to me.
And what he means by that, he's like, he can't come, basically. That's what he means by that,
What he means is like, he's not the one that's always in trouble, like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. He's just a normal, he's just like a kind of chill guy. Just hanging out. He's the most normal one. That's why nothing ever happens to me. That's why he's the most down to earth one, because he's the only one that's just hanging out around Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then he goes indoors, and all of them are like fucking around in their weird, stupid, crazy house.
Yeah, they have the yellow submarine stalks him through the streets of Liverpool, and then he goes to the police and goes, "You wouldn't believe it, man, but there's a yellow submarine stalking me." And of course, the police doesn't do anything about it. They disregard his report of stalking and don't do anything about it. Disconcerted by it, Disconcerting, And
like, none of the Beatles were actually in it until the end.
Yeah, literally none. They withheld, for so long of showing their faces, But...
No, I don't mean their faces, dude. Like the people playing them. It wasn't the Beatles.
Was it not?
The voices of the Beatles and Yellow Submarine are not the Beatles.
I was wondering why they sound different.
They're just like voice actors.
They're just some voice actors. All right.
And then the Beatles appear at the end, and they're like, "Whoa, wasn't that movie crazy? Whoa, wow, oh, look." It's weird. The ending of the movie feels like the ends of a kid's cartoon,
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It feels like the end of like a Blue's Clues episode or some shit.
Yeah, because they're wearing like the turtlenecks too on like a black background.
They've all got like something from the adventure, but they clearly don't really know what they're talking about. They're like, "Oh, I've got the engine from the Yellow Submarine."
Yeah.
They're like, "You never touched that thing before, Paul." Or George. I can't remember which one held it up. But yeah, that fulfills Beatlemania for this week, because the next album is technically the Yellow Submarine soundtrack, which no point listening to that. It's just songs from other albums.
Yeah, exactly.
With a couple originals thrown in there. So don't worry about it. We got it. We did it.
We did it. We're nearly done with the Beatlemania because Star Trek's coming and
Would you go to Pepperland?
I would. It seems chill as fuck.
I would not. That place seemed like it sucked.
No, I feel like it's a very like the glass house sort of society where it's like a utopia society. That's why the meanies could take over so easily, because it was such a fragile environment there, And
it looks a little uptight. It looks like everybody there is just sitting around listening to music, not doing anything, but not in like a chill way where they're like hanging out. Everybody feels so separate from each other. Nobody's interacting,
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be. It doesn't feel like it's cohesive with the like free love message of the music. You know?
That's true. Yeah, the Beatles are the most lively thing that comes to the Pepperland. Honestly, isn't it?
Also, if the Blue Meanies can take it that easy, I shudder to think about Russia when they discover Pepperland.
They discover Pepperland.
I know it's 70,000 leagues under the sea or something, but they'll get there.
and then
I think that'll stop Putin.
Back in the USSR will really fit. They can add that onto the Yellow Submarine soundtrack.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine 2, back in the USSR. That's the name.
Back in the USSR. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like the little like they do little quips where they'll go like
the dialogue was funny, man. I like the way they portrayed the Beatles.
He's like they have like the Frankenstein monster and Ringo is there and the guy is like, you shouldn't pull that lever, and then Ringo goes like, I'm a born lever puller because Liverpool, Liverpool. Yeah, and then he pulls it, and I was like, nice.
It's funny. When they were talking about the motor breaking down, and Ringo was like, I don't think we can call road services. We're not subscribers. And then it cuts to all the other Beatles going, subscribers. Oh my god. It was funny, man. It was just a good movie.
I'm great.
I'm surprised.
It's funny, and it goes.
I thought I'd be bored, but I wasn't.
It has a pace. It keeps that pace going. Never like it has the music. Nowhere Land. I didn't know that Nowhere Man is like an actual character. I forgot that he's
the weird
actual
little
character.
Freak, the weird little fucking
John
creep.
Doctor, whatever he introduces himself as.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Ringo calls him Jeremy for the rest of the film.
Yeah, and Ringo's the only one thinking about the Nowhere Man. He brings him along.
He said at the end. He says, "I always knew that, but I said first that no one man was somebody."
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like him and the Blue Meanie were gonna kiss at the end, but they cut it. There was a moment when they get like really up close to each other, and there's like a sort of homoerotic sexual undertone to it. But they don't, and I kind of feel like there's a version in which they kiss at the end, and they were like, cut that. We don't want to see these two freaks kissing.
And Ringo it was the other Beatles that said that. And Ringo was the one that wasn't assertive enough to say, no, we're keeping the scene in, right?
I always knew that Nowhere Man was a homo man. Was the line that he was originally going to say.
And then
but they cut it because they were like, that would be offensive.
Yeah, that would be offensive. And then
that would be offensive to the homophobes.
I was thinking that George Harrison really had to be a pretty drugged up freak, because if the Beatles themselves are like, he's like all weird and stuff, and it's all in the mind.
He was he was the one that got really
into the
He was the one that got really into the spiritualist stuff.
Yeah,
with all the Indian inspiration and stuff.
Yeah.
He was the one that was like, I'm going to learn to play the sitar, and then he did.
Yeah,
which is why Ringo was like, it's sitar day. So that's where we'll find George.
Yeah,
in the sitar room.
Yeah, in the sitar.
And then they found him in there in the cultural appropriation room.
He is literally in the culture on top of. He's standing on top of a mountain of other people's cultures. I
like the bit afterwards as well, where he steals the car and Ringo's like, that's my car. And he's like, what color is it? And he says, just red with blue wheels. And then it drives by again, and it's like yellow with white wheels.
Yeah.
It was funny, man.
And then he goes, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. That was his kind of catchphrase.
Yeah, it was his little catchphrase,
That's probably what he said in real life,
and then they had the little karaoke at the end. I was like, fuck, that's awesome. I wish I seen this in the cinema where everybody at the end was like walking out or whatever and singing along with this.
Especially seeing as everybody was probably terrified because they ended it by saying there's been a Blue Meanie spotted outside.
Oh shit!
Everybody was probably like,
fuck. The weird like high boot Nazi creatures are outside.
Yeah. Hopefully our song will chill them out.
Oh yeah, and also
we'll just sing about how all you need is love.
all the minis are really like they're scary because all the no is yes in the minis.
No is That's what the movie ended with. Was just like, I guess the message was to say yes more.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe
say yes. The reason the blue meanies were bad was because they didn't like things. So you gotta like things. Doesn't really matter. It was just a chill movie.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. Yeah, it's and I wonder actually how much involvement the Beatles themselves actually had in.
Not very much. I was looking at it yesterday, and it seemed like, it seems like they didn't even really want to do this last movie, but they were kind of contractually obligated to.
What the fuck? Okay.
And I think they made it a cartoon for the reason that they didn't really want to. They
didn't want to be in it. Okay,
they didn't really want to do anything with it. Which maybe is why it was good.
It was why it was good, yeah, exactly. Because
it was like a bunch of artists who were good at their job going, let's kind of make something that visualizes better how we feel when we listen to the Beatles.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I felt sad for the creature. With that creature appears suddenly after the song in the submarine. They go, it's so ugly. Look at it. It's so ugly.
Yeah, and they kick it out, and it's like, what was that guy?
And it flies out into space crying.
He gets fucking eaten by the monsters or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, when they were going through the time thing, and it came up on screen saying, like, 60, because they were singing, when I'm 64.
Yeah, 64, yeah.
When it said like 64 years is this many minutes, and a minute is a long time. We'll show you just how long a minute is. I was like eye rolling, like, oh man, did they really need to kill a minute? That they needed to just count down a minute. But then, even then, I was hooked because the way they counted it down, I was like, oh damn, this is visually fun.
It's interesting, yeah. As if
it changes it up. The graphics are changing up with each second and stuff, and it's like, fucking these guys. Did a good job, man.
Yeah.
What can you say? I can see why this movie is pretty well loved.
All you need is love.
Love.
Well, that Ensigns approve of the yellow submarine. We wish we had one, I guess, maybe, right? That would be cool to own a yellow submarine.
Yeah, how much is like a little yellow submarine, like the one from yesterday that the Russian guy had?
Yeah.
Yellow sub. I'm looking on Amazon. Yellow submarine. You can get a yellow submarine toy for £30 on Amazon.
That's pretty.
A little collectible.
A little bit less. Maybe we can buy a toy submarine painted yellow. It's a great buy. We're not making any money off of this. We can't invest that sort of money in this podcast.
It could be tax deductible. Yeah, we have to get a yellow submarine for our podcast.
Yeah.
That we don't make any money on. Oh, dude, don't worry. No, hold up. We can get it on a payment plan. Dude, we can get it on a payment plan of £10 a month for 3 months, no interest.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, man.
And then we can and then we can go back in time because time is sick or whatever. And then Ringo can go, "Mummy, I want my mummy."
Mummy, I want my mummy.
Yeah, and he cries. Yeah.
I'd watch this movie again, I think.
Yeah, genuinely.
If I'm like, oh, hey, the Yellow Submarine? Yeah,
fuck yeah. Short enough to watch, visually interesting.
Excuse me. What more can you say? Nothing. We're done.
Yeah,
we're done
nothing else. Yeah, exactly. And talking about...
We've been talking about Yellow Submarine today. Especially seeing as all of our comments are just like, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was good, wasn't it?
There's a constable going, pussy, 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 pussy. And I was like, that's
going,
cool.
Here, puss, puss,
It had a different meaning back in the day, you know?
Well, it had more of a... It had less of a double entendre.
Yeah, and they also used gay in the old way, too. Yeah, I was like, I can't believe that woke got to the meeting.
I can't believe that they were victims of woke. Yellow Submarine. Well, if they did it nowadays.
Yeah.
They would.
Is it like, and all the conservatives on Twitter, all the blue check marks would be like, are the blue minis Nazis? Or what do you mean? Are you making them some dumb?
No, they weren't. They were funny blue guys.
Funny blue guys.
They were just funny blue guys. I think there was a. Let me see if I can find it. 'Cause it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know that they want that. You know Robert Zemeckis, the Polar Express guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted to do he wanted to do like a remake of Yellow Submarine in the 3D Robert Zemeckis style.
The Uncanny Valley.
There's some like old test footage that got online a little while ago. I remember seeing this and being like, this doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to it.
Oh, see, because this is a Facebook link, so it's a great choice of a link. Oh, fuck. Facebook is not letting me see this because...
It's from the bit at the end.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. This kind of looks like... Oh my god, he's got like a weird mouth.
Yeah, man. Well, it's
Ringo's
the Robert Zemeckis style.
Yeah, it is. He's licking his lips. What the fuck? Alright, yeah. I wonder if that. Why not? Bring it back.
Yeah, why not? I wonder if they used that thing that they do in... I think that maybe it had early face tracking.
Yeah.
Because they were all in the same position and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't really animate it. They just like took it from... They just took the footage from the end of the movie where the Beatles are talking to the camera and then mapped these models over it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe. I feel that way just because if you do look at Ringo, he's like looking towards the camera. But he's not looking towards the camera as it like trucks in towards John Lennon.
Yeah.
He's still just looking where it would be if it was the original movie. So maybe that's some information that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah. Maybe we should find him and get him to. If we get big, we finance this movie. Yeah,
Robert
ourselves.
Zemeckis, we want to make Yellow Submarine 3D.
Yeah,
what are you doing right now, Robert? What are you doing, Robert?
We get after we start a Patreon, the top tier on our Patreon. Our goal is going to be the
Yellow Submarine 3D remake with Robert Zemeckis. We can make it happen. What's he doing now, man?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of these movies.
He made the fucking live-action Pinocchio from like 2 years ago.
Has there been a live-action Pinocchio?
He made the movie Welcome to Marwen. Do you remember the movie where do you remember the movie where a guy from the off Steve Carell is he plays with the little dolls to process his trauma?
No, I don't. I've not seen that.
Movie.
Wow.
Anyway, that's
maybe
the Robert
I should
Zemeckis
do that.
update. Thanks for listening, Max. How was your week?
It was fine. I've had to travel to an undisclosed location and stuff, and
Argentina.
And no, that's not what it is. Okay. Well, now I give him a bit of information by,
You've crossed out one country.
I crossed out one country, got the viewers an ability to easier, cross-reference stuff and find where I am, my exact location, so they can send a suicide drone
squad
at me. What?
They can send a suicide squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they can Suicide Squad at me. But is it the old Suicide Squad or the new Suicide Squad?
It's gonna be the James Gunn one, just so that you get as annoyed as you could be.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie.
Wow,
just throwing shade because I feel like it.
He needed to take James Gunn down a peg.
You know what? He's had it too good for too long.
Yeah,
need to do something about this fucker.
Yeah, because he got the DC universe now. He's doing
in
the
charge
DCs.
of all that stuff.
Yeah,
bring back Aquaman. Anyway, what did you do this week outside of travel?
I watched The Spaceman. Speaking of ugly creatures in space, I watched Spaceman with Adam Sandler movie. Yes, I watched the Adam Sandler.
I didn't know this movie had come out.
It's on Netflix, so you can just watch it on Netflix. And
this movie does not seem to be doing great.
It's not doing great because I feel like it has a very weird like movie based on book syndrome where they don't focus on they cut a lot of stuff out. Or like,
is it based on a book?
Yes, it's based
Novel
on
Spaceman of Bohemia.
Yeah, Spaceman of Bohemia. Because I was like, is he playing? So he's supposed to be playing a Czech guy, right? Because it's a Czech space agency, and I was like, who the fuck cares about Czech people? And then I checked, and it was the author of the book is Czech, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, because only Czechs write about Czechs, and Polish people only write about Polish people,
Yeah, you made that sound really like violent.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it.
I would write about a Czech.
Yeah, I'm saying it because it's true.
It's
true about media in general.
Not like Americans and England people. It's like everybody loves writing about us.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Japanese, everybody loves writing about the Japanese, regardless.
Yeah, of exactly. They exactly. So
and Russia a little bit, but not to a great degree.
Yeah, they put them in as bad guys in things, If you need a bad guy, you put in Russians.
Yeah, but only a Czech will write about Czech, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And only a Polish person will write about a Polish person.
Polish person, exactly, That's that's the...
Now, here's the thing. Does this rule... Because I feel like the biggest proof that this rule isn't right is the amount of people that would make racist jokes about those groups. Could you not say that is writing about that group?
That is true. That you could say that the how dumb Polish people are jokes are could be could be put in a group of written works about a character that's Polish. Yes,
literary works,
including Polish people.
But not of Polish origin.
Yeah. How many Polish people do you need to screw in a light bulb? None. I don't know. They don't know what a light bulb is. Oh, Wikipedia article. Help extending it by coming up with...
This article needs your help.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, tell me about the Spaceman with Adam Sandler.
It's all right. I liked it. I really like the production design. I like the kind of how they kind of shown space, and the story overall is pretty good. But I feel like it doesn't really. I don't know. Like it's so weird. Like it's just missing. It seems like it's missing a lot of the context that might have been in the book. But I'll have to read the book. Maybe it's very similar to what the actual movie did. I guess
you have to read the book.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to read the book written by a Czech. And then...
you don't have to start actually embodying it. It was one thing that was like ironic, but if you make it sound more real, that's a bit of an issue.
They got a win, okay? They got an Adam Sandler check. Check Adam Sandler
movie.
He doesn't do an accent, which is a shame.
Oh, well. You do.
Yeah.
But he loves doing accents.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have done like his Hotel Transylvania voice.
Exactly. Because that's what Czech people sound like.
I'm not saying that's what Czech people sound like. I'm just saying that would be the best attempt that Adam Sandler could give.
Okay. Yeah, and it seems to be basically the entire story is kind of like this guy who's like sent on this solo mission into space to like go into this like weird nebula, like cloud of gas. It's near Jupiter or something like that. Sure. And it's his like the entire thing is about his like a lack of like connection to people sort of thing. But it's so like flat about.
I'm sick of it now, man. I'm sick of I can't connect to other people. Grow up, get over it.
Grow up, yeah.
You're this old and you're worrying about being unable to connect to people. Get over it. Just fucking live your life. If you want to connect to people, connect to people. If you don't, move on. Who gives a fuck?
There's enough people to go around to connect to.
There honestly are enough people to go around. If you want to connect to somebody, go and try fucking talking to somebody and stop moaning. Fuck me.
It's talking about how selfish he is and stuff like that.
But that's always what it is. It always starts to become self-pitying, like, oh, it's so selfish of me, my inability to connect. Fuck you. You know what? How about instead you're doing the world a damn favor?
Uh-huh.
You're good. Nobody gets to connect to you. Thank God.
Okay, nice.
Another sad sack that nobody has to fucking do things for. Make them feel good. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of a happy Gilmore, he's a sad Gilmore in this movie.
That's what you would rename the movie, as Sad Gilmore. Instead of a Billy Madison, he's a Billy Sadison in this movie.
Yes.
Instead of grown-ups too, he's grown sad too.
Instead of click, he's a clonk. You know, because it's like a more sad sound.
Sure, he's more of a clonk, you say. This movie's more of a clonk for Adam Sandler than a click. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Watch it. It's okay.
That's the end of the review. To summarize, it was pretty good. It's more of a clonk than a click. It's a great review. Is that the final score? A clonk out of a click?
Yes.
A sad Gilmore out of a happy Gilmore.
Yes. The production design is nice. The visuals are nice. Watch it for that, I guess. Read the book written by a Czech.
It was a long weekend this weekend.
What did you watch?
It's Easter weekend. I got back into Mobile Suit Gundam, man.
Did they cover Easter in that? Is there an Easter episode in Mobile Suit
Not in
Gundam?
the stuff that I watched. I finished a TV show that I started last year, Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. Then I watched a movie, Char's Counterattack, which it's the end of the heated rivalry between Amuro and Char, the two. Not the two protagonists. One of them's the protagonist. One of them's the antagonist of Mobile Suit Gundam. All right.
Yeah.
Then after that, I watched Mobile Suit Gundam 0080.
Yeah.
War in the Pocket. That's like a 6-episode series.
It sounds like something Borat would say. He goes like,
War in the Pocket is nice. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched that. That was like 6 episodes of it was like a OVA, as they call it. If you know, if you know, you know. And then I watched another movie called Mobile Suit Gundam F91.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll just go through it. It was like a 4-day weekend, and I had one thing per day. It was like perfect.
Ooh,
perfectly spaced, man.
It was like God himself in the rebirth granted you the ability to watch that over that long weekend, you know?
Yeah. I watched Mobile, so I finished off
Resurrection.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Is there much Christ allegory in Mobile Suit Gundam?
There is a Christ allegory in Char's Counterattack.
Oh, okay.
Char kind of tries to embody a Christ-like figure in that he tries to take the burden of sin of a sinful act for the good of the future of people, you know.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
There's even promotional images that have him in like a cross pose.
In a cross pose, yeah.
It's strung up like Christ.
That's good. That's good. At least there's something that you can like tell your pastor that you watched that was like
Well, Father Tom.
Yeah.
This weekend for my Lent was over, so I could finally indulge once again in my love of Gundam. I watched Char's Counterattack. I did 40 days with no Gundam, and now I'm back.
I'm back.
I watched Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. Excuse me. This is the end of Judo's story. After Zeta Gundam, Camille's brain blew up because he became too good of a new type.
Ooh, he was too powerful.
First of all, I gotta say, when I've watched the first series of Gundam, they introduce new types. These are people whose souls are not weighed down by gravity. They were like born in space and raised in space. And this gives them spiritual and psychic powers.
Yeah.
You know? It's cool. New types are special because they can use special weaponry in their Gundams. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They introduce it and it's like, damn, new types are kind of cool. I wish I was a new type. After finishing Zeta and Double Zeta, I no longer wish to be a new type. This shit's lame as fuck, bro.
Why? Is it because they go through emotional turmoil?
They basically become kind of stupid for the most part.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Like, it's like you can be a normal person as a new type, but if you run into like another new type, you basically both become like obsessed with each other and stupid. In Zeta, Camille fell in love with a girl called 4.
Yeah.
He fell in love with her immediately, and she fell in love with him immediately, just because they're both new types. They had a psychic brain length like that.
Okay.
In Double Zeta, the main character Judo meets a girl called LP Puru.
Okay.
She immediately believes that he's her older brother.
Okay.
And then spends the rest of the series as like a very infantilized, like 12-year-old girl, or pretending to be this guy's younger sister.
Okay.
The new types suck, bro. And you know what? It gets even worse in Char's Counterattack. Review of Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. I like it. It started out as a comedy. Then it went more into drama, and then it became very tragic, you know? It carried itself very well. It was a good series. I like it. I like Zeta, and I like all of the characters introduced. They were all very endearing. Char's Counterattack. Dude, this movie is not good. Dude, this movie was... So, you know, have you ever seen something and you're like, I feel like this wasn't supposed to be a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
This movie, you watch it and you kind of feel within the first 10 minutes like, oh, this was supposed to be like another 50-episode TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be a season.
They're trying to take 50 episodes of a TV show and fucking squeeze that shit into 2 hours.
Jesus, okay.
It's fucked. First of all, it takes place like 5 years after the last series. And wastes no time on expositing you on what happened. Basically, Char, who died in Zeta, is back. He came back.
That's why
he went missing. Turns out this is why it's Char's Counterattack, even though he never gets attacked, so it can't really be a counterattack because he's the only one attacking in the movie.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, so he's back and he's now in charge of Zeon. He's now in charge of Neo Zeon, and his big plan is he's gonna throw asteroids at the Earth until it goes into a ice age.
Okay.
He's gonna kill all. He's gonna make humanity he's gonna make Earth uninhabitable for humanity, so that Earth, in the long run, it gets reset. The pollution hopefully clears away some, and then by the time humanity can go back there, they will be more enlightened about it. You know. This is where the sort of Christ imagery comes in. He's gonna be the bad guy, and he's gonna throw a big asteroid called Axis at Earth. And he's going to kill basically billions of people. Just so that, like, everybody will have to be in space. Then 2, everybody will become a new type. And then 3, everybody will be better because then they can go down.
But then they know who they want to love because they'll all be new types.
Exactly. Right? They'll be new types. They'll be special. Amuro with the Earth Federation, he's trying to put a stop to this, as he always is, because he's more compassionate. He believes that if humanity will find its way, you know, they'll be able to work themselves out. They'll be able to. You don't have to kill everybody. You don't have to reset, Basically, Char is an accelerationist.
Hey, he's an accelerationist. He's the great reset guy. He's the meme of the 4 people standing around. They all have the same speech bubble of like, if after the fall, my ideology is gonna win. Basically, I can't wait for the wait for the fall because my ideology is gonna win. But he's the guy that actually did the reset, basically.
Yes. So he's the one that if anybody gets to claim the ideology taking over. Exactly. He's the one that took action. It's all about how he's going to take action, and Amuro's just kind of like sitting on the sidelines. He's trying to guide humanity slowly. It's not going to work because humans are stupid. Anyway, this movie's billed as their rivalry finally coming to an exciting climax. They maybe take up a third of this movie.
Okay.
The rest of this movie is taken up by 2 other characters. One is called Quess, who is the stupidest new type girl ever introduced. And another kid, he's called Hathaway, and he's the son of a character from the older series called Captain Bright, right?
Okay.
They meet early on because they're both fleeing Earth with their families. Because, Char is throwing big rocks at the Earth.
Yeah.
So they want to get off of it.
Refugees, is that what you're saying?
They kind of, they're kind of... no, they're not refugees because they're both... They're just going up into space for a bit. They'll come back, I think is the idea.
Okay. I think the refugees also... Oh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I know what you mean, but... I'm saying in the way that the movie presents it, they're not refugees,
They're basically expats, is that what you're saying? They're not refugees, they're expats? Is that what you're saying?
Quess has father issues. She hates her dad and subsequently hates adults.
Oh, okay.
Or no, she doesn't hate adults, she hates children. She kind of hates a lot of things. But generally she's just kind of stupid. There's a point when Quess and Hathaway are talking about what Char is doing about throwing big rocks at Earth. And she's like, I actually think it's a good thing because there are lots of evil there's so many evil adults on Earth that are never going to learn, so they need to die. Yeah. And then Hathaway is like, but what about all of the people that will die? And she's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, I don't know now.
Well, everybody makes that mistake, when they're a kid. They're like, they don't take everything into account,
Quest obviously
they're reactionary, they're reactionary.
Yeah, she is a reactionary. Quest, as a father's girl, sees Amuro first, and she's like, damn, Amuro's so cool. Amuro, will you love me, please? She doesn't say that to him. But Amuro, unfortunately, has a girlfriend who is of an appropriate age. So she's very pissed off. She's so pissed off, in fact, that when they run into Char on the colony, she actually runs over and helps Char and grabs a gun and points it at Amuro.
Oh, wow.
And Char is like, oh, hey, you seem pretty cool. You want to come with me? And she's like, yes, because in this movie, it's important to remember that Char is literally grooming everybody.
Okay.
Not sexually, but he is disconnected from all of the characters in the film that are his friends. He's using all of them. He's grooming them to do his will. Yeah. To do his bidding.
Like you
Quest
should.
runs off. Yeah, like you should. Quest runs off with Char. Hathaway stays with, like, Amuro and that. Hathaway's really sad because he loves Quest. He's like, damn, she had this bright blue hair and anyway, Quest is over on the other. That's about it.
Okay.
Quest, that's like I said. If this had more than 6 episodes or something to flesh out these relationships a bit more, might work better. As it stands, the only reason that Hathaway likes Quest is because they're both like 13-year-old kids. It's that kind of thing.
What do you expect from a stupid show about stupid mechs?
True. 100% true.
I don't get you.
Quest is now being groomed and trained by Char to be a brand. Turns out she's actually an ultra super new type.
Oh,
she can control the gun. She can control the mobile suits really, really well. She can control all the special weapons in it. We're fast forwarding now. Climax of the film. Quest is out on the battlefield and she's going fucking mental, bro. She is killing hundreds of people. She is so good at fighting. Okay. Hathaway
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Quest is out there. I need to go and save. I need to convince her that what she's doing is wrong, and that Char is like using her. He gets in this broken, busted GM suit, mobile suit, and flies out to try and find her in the battlefield. Meanwhile, Amuro's new girlfriend, she's like, everybody's dying out there. We all need to help. Okay.
Yeah.
She gets in a busted up suit, flies out there, try and help. These characters converge. Hathaway sees Quest, goes over to her. Quest is gonna like blast him to shit because she's just like, hey, another mobile suit enemy. I need to kill him for Char. But he's acting weird because he doesn't want to kill her. He like embraces her mech and stuff. He's like trying to yell at her through the mech, like, Quest, you need to leave. You need to come home, Quest,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
She's going crazy. She eventually decides, whoever this is, I need to kill them. Points gun at Hathaway's mech, ready to blast his brains out, ready to spread him like dust across the galaxy. Amuro's girlfriend sees this, shoots Quest. Bam, saved Hathaway. Hathaway's upset. He sees Chan's mech and is like, fuck you, and he kills Chan.
No, well, you know.
And he blows her up, and then
It's
Hathaway
war.
is floating through space in his mech, crying. And that's the end of their storyline.
Okay.
And that's like a good 60% of the movie is dedicated to these two characters.
So then they just kill off the new characters and that's it, basically.
This is why it needed to be a series. There's so much going on in this movie, dude. The pacing is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
There is, it's just constantly moving and trying to like get through story beats as quickly as possible. Because it needs to get through as many as it can to lead up to the final encounter. Amuro and Char, what we've all been waiting for. Amuro eventually beats Char. They blow up the big meteor that's heading for Earth that Char has set up. Unfortunately, they blow it up in a way that half of it is deflected away from Earth, but the other half is still going towards Earth. This is like the coolest bit in the movie. Amuro goes down in front of the asteroid and he starts trying to fucking push the asteroid out of Earth's atmosphere, even though it's already in like entry, you know? It's caught in the gravity well. And then all of the other mobile suits in the battlefield, because of Amuro's new type energy, they get the vibe. They're like, hey, something fucked up's happening. Every single mobile suit on the battlefield flies over. They start fucking pushing against the damn asteroid. They're all trying to push it out of Earth's gravity, you know? And they're dying because their suits aren't strong. So they're getting like burnt up because of the re-entry and the force of the asteroid and stuff. And they're burning themselves out because they're putting their, like jets on full.
Yeah.
And it's not enough. And what eventually does it, as Char finally, his own Gundam finally gives in and he blows up or Amuro's Gundam finally blows up and he takes Char with him. The Psycho Gundam frame, which is a tiny little device that they've talked about for maybe like 5 minutes total in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, it lights up and it channels all of the new type energy of the people of Earth and finally pushes the asteroids away from Earth.
It's fueled on grit, humanity.
The people of humanity, it's their love, it's their desire to not die.
Yeah, their survival instinct.
This movie was not good, man.
It's their adrenochrome that it's
I'm
fueled
so
by.
disappointed.
Yeah, you're
Is
so
their
disappointed.
adrenochrome?
How much dumb gum have you got left?
Quite a lot. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Quite a lot. Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
We'll see. Some of it's probably still very bad. Some of it might be better. The next thing I watched, I won't go into super detail because there's not much to say other than this was actually a very good one. War in the Pocket, 6 episodes. If you're interested in Gundam in any way and you just want like a nice succinct thing that you can watch that's just like a good little sci-fi war story, you know, that's a good one to do. it takes place during the 1 Year War, which is when the first series takes place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about like a colony in space that is neutral but finds itself kind of in the midst of a conflict between the two sides, centered around a kid. This is, you know what this is? This is Jojo Rabbit, but good. It's about a kid. It's about a kid.
What do you mean? Jojo Rabbit won Oscar. Won an Oscar.
I think it was just nominated. Did it win?
I think best screenplay or something, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Or some bullshit like that.
But this movie is about a child who loves war, and the coming of age aspect is that he learns war actually, obviously, kind of not very fun.
Well,
finds out that maybe war is something that people shouldn't enjoy.
Did they tell did they tell the kid, well, freedom ain't free? And the kid was like, true.
He goes, you know what? You got me there.
You got me there.
You got me there. No, that was a good one, man. I'd recommend it. War in the Pocket. Yeah.
War in the
Then
pocket.
the next one,
unlike Ringo that has a hole in his pocket.
Yeah, he had a hole in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Got a hole in the pocket. But you think an actual hole? No, he's got a sea of holes hole that is a hole that goes.
Yeah.
Never mind. After that, I watched the next movie, Mobile Suit Gundam F91. This one was really disappointing because it had so many interesting narrative concepts and stuff. It starts out with like these kids trying to escape like a sudden outbreak of this battle that's happening on their colony.
COVID-19.
Outbreak of COVID on their colony. And they're like running through the streets and stuff. They're trying to get out of there. They're trying to get to like an escape pod and
They're
stuff.
trying to get past all the anti-vaxxers like coughing at them without the mask on. Yeah.
There's a point when this Earth Federation guy is like, "Oh, hey, look, a bunch of kids. Let's use these as human shields so that the enemy doesn't shoot us." And they're like, literally, everybody grab the kids, and they're like, "Fuck, we gotta get out of here. These grown-ups gonna use us as human shields." But again, exact same problem as Char's Counterattack, where it's like you're watching this and everything is moving at breakneck speed because it's like an entire TV show's worth of a narrative condensed into 2 hours. There's just way too much going on. There's too many characters. There's too many story beats in it. You know, there's too many locations. It's too much.
Well, you know, these stories had to be told somehow. They couldn't just stay hidden. You know, they couldn't just. They had to be down. They had to be. They had to come out. You know,
they had to come out one way or another.
If it requires, maybe we'll do that. Maybe when the next episode we'll watch, you listen to the episode, it's gonna be like 60 episodes of the Dead Ensigns podcast in one, you know?
Yeah. We'll we'll come up with a whole month's worth of topics and then talk about it it needs to be equivalent as well. We'll talk about it in 30 minutes instead.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to make it shorter, even shorter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It needs to be an equivalent. You have a 50-episode series condensed into a 2-hour movie. We need to have a 60-minute podcast condensed into a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe. Yeah. But probably not because Discovery is coming out, so we'll have to
Discovery!
Have time. You know,
it's this week, bro. Just go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's round it out today.
Yeah.
Unless, wasn't there something else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I don't know. We spent so much time on Gundam.
Well, sorry.
Time to talk I only spoke about one movie, but then
talk about another thing.
About 600 Dum Gums coming out or whatever. Serious. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I watched the thing that I wanted to talk about is Deathstalker. It's one of the bad movies to watch, you know.
One of your lovely bad movies that you love so much.
I didn't love this movie at all. This movie was fucking awful. Like it seems harmless, right? You listen to it, people go like, "Oh, watch it," you know, because it's like dumb, you know, it's like stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has so much. This movie has so much sexual assault in it, like so much like attempted sexual assault in it. It was not funny. It was extremely uncomfortable to watch, and it's like the top trivia on IMDb, by the way. This is the sort of movie this movie is. The top trivia for on IMDb is that 2 mud wrestling girls were sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the
I
sort
don't
of movie
really
that
understand that. That sounds like it's not great.
Yeah, it was not
They don't
good.
do anything. They don't do
No,
any
they don't
stuff
do
to
anything
each other.
weird, but like it's
Okay,
just, you know,
good.
kind
I
of
thought
like
that was the implication.
they mud wrestle, you know. That's
All right. I mean,
that's
not good,
kind of-
but you know.
not good, and there's like a guy ogling them and like touching them later, you know, in the mud wrestling thing, you know.
All right.
And it is like the entire movie is just like the male gaze, basically. The entire
And this is
thing.
like a so bad it's good kind of.
I don't
listed
even
movie.
know. I just heard
Not
about
that
like
you
it's
would
being.
say it, that is.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Like, I guess some people talk about it that way, but it's like it's completely hard. Like that entire thing with like there's I can't, like, I don't even want to describe it. It's so weirdly graphic. Like, there's a scene where a guy gets turned into a woman, and then the main character, he's supposed to go kill the main character, you know? And then the main character, like, he tries to, because he's got a sword, the main character goes, because it's like a generic fantasy, you know, Conan Barbarian sort of fucking shit, you know? And it's the main character's got a sword that makes him invulnerable or whatever, you know? So the guy needs to wait for him to put down the sword, and then he tries to stab him as disguised as a, like, he is like literally magicked into a woman. Like, that's what happens, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, the guy just proceeds to go like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna shove you onto the bed. And then, for no joke, it's like 3 minutes of him manhandling this like female actress into position, and I'm like, why, what the fuck, you know, like, why is this, you know, why is this movie doing this? Yeah, and I was like, you know, and then he gets, you know, a male voice comes out of her screeny, you know.
And that's
like,
when he's like,
and
ugh.
then he's like, "What the fuck are you?" He
like,
goes,
ugh.
"What are you?" You know, and it's like, and it's like the thing about, and I get it that it's like, you know, all of this stuff is like consensual adults, right, making this content, you know, making this movie, right, but at the same time, all the women seem so uncomfortable, you know, like in this, that it's really
That's
weird.
acting, baby.
Yeah, maybe, sure, yeah.
Let's hope.
It's hope. But yeah, it's just like generic slop. Though it's not worth watching. Honestly, I've heard it, like, people talking about.
Now.
Yeah,
and now I, you know, maybe kind of wish I had.
The movie poster is cool, but you know,
You wanted to make a big. I was gonna move us on to something about Discovery, and you were like, "No, I have to talk about this. I have to talk about this horrid movie."
yeah, I know.
I must.
It needs to be told. It needs to be said that this isn't really that good of a bad watch.
People
basically
need to know that this old ass movie has a lot of bad scenes in it. Listen.
Bad scenes in it, you know.
Say bad vibe from the movie.
Yeah. What Discovery
But
stuff
what
did you want to?
What more can you expect from a movie that is a Conan style story? That was Conan's whole deal at the end of the day.
Yeah, sure.
I was just gonna say, dude, we're a few days out. What's your final predictions for Discovery? What's your final thoughts about how this series will end?
I think we made so many predictions. I don't remember any.
But what I'm saying, this is the last time that we can. This is because here's the thing: we're not gonna go back 50 episodes and be like, "Oh, what did we say? Did we get any predictions right?" Let's chalk it up now, so we've got a recent reference point.
Okay, yeah, that is a good point.
Based on the new trailer as well.
The new trailer, they're looking for One Piece. That's what we know.
They're looking for the
right?
One Piece. We know they're looking for the space One Piece.
What could the One Piece be?
I really do have this feeling that they'll go back in time, but back in time to where they currently are, you know? Like, back in time to shortly after Picard stuff.
To, like, tie it into, like, the spin-off with 7 of 9 and Raffi?
Maybe, yeah, maybe, if they end up doing that. I don't even know if it will be just to tie it in, but just to be like have like this sense of like, and then they finally came home.
Yeah,
but also
like Voyager
it's not
sort of
home because
thing,
it's 200 years in the future, but it's closer to their old home than it was to the future. So what can you say, really?
Yeah, Spock is still there hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. You get like, they put the guy that plays Spock currently.
My sister, Burnham. I can finally say you are my sister, or whatever.
They get that Spock, put him in lots of old makeup.
Yeah, that guy.
And then that's
Spock
the last scene is him and Burnham seeing each other, and that's the last word is like he sees Burnham and he's like, "My sister,
let me sniff you." Yeah,
my mind to your mind. Do you think if you were mind melding with a Vulcan as they die, you would die too?
Yeah, definitely. They take you with you. They take you with them. Yeah, it's horrifying. Would you risk it then? I can show you the best things. Maybe. Remember that episode with Tuvok where he was trading in violent thoughts? That was pretty interesting. Yeah. I don't know why. I just remember that episode suddenly.
I think they're going to go back in time. I think the villain is going to be a villain that we have seen before, but it's going to be one that you didn't think would be coming back.
Mm-hmm. But it still has to be like TNG, right? It can't be like the Enterprise or like any. It can't be like Solibon or like it.
No,
can't
it
be
would
like
need
DS9.
to be at least
it can't
the original
be like,
series.
Yeah, and the original. Yeah, exactly. Or the original series. It can't
like
be
Gorn,
like DS9.
Like a Gorn.
Yeah, it can't be Voyager and any. It can't be Neelix. Neelix can't be in this movie, this series. I mean,
maybe the Ferengi.
No, I don't think Ferengi.
Just fuck it. Just be like,
although
no, because they're looking for the treasure, bro.
Yeah, the Ferengi will know because of the Great Exchange or whatever they were called. Although at the end of DS9, they said Ferengi became like a socialist, communist.
Yeah, but also it's been 800 years, so who cares?
And DS9 doesn't matter.
And DS9 doesn't matter because you know that Nog is instituting that kind of shit, and they're already planning the assassination.
Yeah. He's dead like the next day, basically after the end of the show. But they're looking for the One Piece. Could they be looking for the Borg? It's just the Borg again.
Maybe the One Piece treasure is like an old Borg cube.
It's just the Borg again.
Nah.
Fuck. It can't be the Borg.
No, I don't think they'd do that.
They wouldn't do that, would they? Would they?
Maybe the space One Piece is a message for Burnham from the past.
Left by Burnham.
Burnham.
For herself.
So that she can find her way back home.
Yeah. It's like, Janeway at the end of Voyager.
Saru dies episode 7, and the message is, here's how you bring Saru back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you have to use the equivalent of exchange, and you need to sacrifice Spock, and then Spock loses an arm and a leg, but then they do it again, he turns into a piece of armor. Basically, they put him in a piece of armor.
What were you saying about Janeway?
Like at the end of Voyager, where Janeway goes back in time.
Future Janeway, Admiral Janeway. Yeah.
Admiral Janeway. Mm-hmm. Could it be something like that? No, they couldn't do that. They hate. No, I
Could be. Maybe it's Burnham from further in the future, and she's like, there was a second burn. We called it the Burn 2.
Another baby was right next to.
There was another
Lina.
baby, and he screamed even louder than before, and it killed even more people.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that we couldn't solve it like we thought we could. Here's how you really solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh, now of course. And then they stop the Burn 2 from happening.
Okay.
Before it happens.
we're just predicting. I guess I do also agree that there has to be some sort of time travel stuff. Let's predict at least that there is going to be some sort of going back in time.
Some kind of time travel plot point.
Yeah, going back in time.
Because they've got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Do we say mirror universe stuff? Is that going to come up, you think?
No, I think they moved past the mirror universe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Okay, sure.
I think they moved past it.
Because I don't think they tackled the mirror universe. Oh, they did. I forgot. They did.
They
right?
did
In the future, like when
Space Joju left, yeah. When Mirror Joju left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They did her little two-parter in the mirror universe where she's like, but it's reliving some past moment and she has to realize I'm good now or something. I can't remember. It was some stupid bullshit.
Yeah. She's like, because she was being pulled away or whatever from this current timeline or some bullshit.
Not
like
only
that.
was she out of her own universe, but she was also out of her own time, which made it like double
fucked
bad
up
for her brain.
And then that guy on that planet was like, here's a portal or whatever.
Yeah, he was like, here, climb in this hole.
I'm kind of like a cube, but not really, or whatever.
It'll take you to your spin-off.
Yeah, and then they made it into a movie. Well, we'll see how that goes. The Section 31, apparently, they wrapped filming on.
Yeah, and here I was worried that we wouldn't have Star Trek for a bit. That Section 31 TV show, let's go!
It's not a TV show, they said it's a movie.
Section 31, whatever the hell it ends up being. The web series.
It's a web comic.
It's a podcast. It's a radio, it's an audio, it's an audible web drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not Michelle Yeoh doing the voice.
No. Well, no, it is Michelle Yeoh for 10 minutes, and then they have to get a different person.
Ah, yeah, of course. They just AI generate the rest of her lines.
Yeah, man, yeah.
They have ChatGPT generate the plot and then read the lines.
Exactly. It's like that. Did you see the clip of the guy who made a fully AI stream?
No.
So it was an AI version of his voice reading an AI script generated off of like the script is generated off of a video of an AI playing Minecraft.
Oh, okay. And did it work?
Well, it worked in the sense that it did all of the things that it was doing.
Okay.
It didn't work in the sense that it was strange because it was saying weird things.
Okay.
Also, it had a webcam that was like one of those photos of a person.
Oh,
you know?
it was
like a photo of the guy like, talking. Yeah.
It's like stretching. It's like a PNG being stretched. Yeah.
So, we'll have lots of stuff to look forward
eventually,
to
we'll just have so much stuff to talk about.
We'll have to generate AI to talk about the things for us.
Yeah, this is our burn. This is our burn coming. The little baby being born next to a GPU running an AI language model, That's what's going to cost the next burn.
Exactly. And we can only hope that either we kill them all or they kill us. As would honestly be the two ideals. Because I think living in a world where it was prevalent and nothing was being done about it is probably worse.
Yeah. See you, everybody on the front lines.
Bye. Check out Dead Ensigns on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, other podcast apps, Amazon, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Write an email to deadensigns@gmail.com. Leave a comment on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, rate. Whatever else you feel like doing, I guess, as well. Up to you.
Yeah, muster whatever energy you can muster from your... What is it? What did you say? New type juice or whatever?
New type. Become a new type with Dead Ensigns. I think that's how Om Shinrikyo started, is that they were basically saying, hey, you guys know new types in Gundam? let's just say you could become one if you join us.
I'm
pretty sure that's literally one of the cultural references that Om Shinrikyo used.
That's how we do it. That's how we get the kids in to listen to our podcast. We talk about the Yellow Submarine.
50-year-old cartoons about space psychics and the Yellow Submarine. Yeah. That would work. Be like John Lennon. Don't be like John Lennon. We'll see you on the front lines of the Butlerian Jihad, everybody. Goodbye.
Let's go. Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.